This is the Paranormal Report. Hey, I'm Jim, and it is the Paranormal Report. It's worth dancing for. Hey, Dar, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
You weren't dancing.
Hey, I'm not dancing. Remember, somebody on the boards on your virtual campfire said, was I doing the Elaine dance last week? Absolutely, I was. So if you know Seinfeld, yeah, that's about the extent of my dancing. Yeah. And I have a
Long as
kindred
I'm
spirit
seated,
on
I'm
the
okay.
virtual. Yeah, well, I have a kindred spirit on the virtual campfire. Oh, and I forgot who it was, but she and I both took ballet and tap. So we were commiserating over that. But hey, do you know what today is?
What is today?
100 days from today is Halloween.
Oh, my goodness.
Our Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it feels like the whole, right now we're starting to kick into high gear, and I just feel like we're going towards that momentum. And one of the way stops on that this week is my big 20th anniversary / live stream special. There you have it.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
20 years.
20 years, the 29th of July. So we wanted to make it on a weekend, so we decided to make it this coming weekend, which is July 26th, correct? July 26th,
Correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
7 p.m. Eastern. We tried to make it a time that could work in multiple time zones. We know it's a little late for our friends across the pond. I'm sorry about that, but we do the best we can to try to make it an accessible time for as many people as possible. Of course, there'll be the replay, but we'd love for you to be there. Just we'll post it on the socials in the virtual campfire group at virtualcampfiregroup.com, which you should be a member of for free if you're not a member. But we'll post it everywhere where you can find it. But just know, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jim Harold, and we'll be there 7 p.m. Eastern to celebrate two things: Summerween. And
Summerween.
We're going to do, I don't even think we talked about this. We're going to do some giveaways, a few little giveaways. And we'll have fun and frivolity. And it's very similar to what we do with our regular live streams. I don't think we're going to be doing costumes per se this year.
I don't think we're good. I know.
We will in Halloween. We will in Halloween.
Oh, for sure. Because we try to go all out, and that's a lot.
It is.
But hey, Cassandra and I are going to have some drinks. We're going to have some mocktails. We're going to have some food, some different things if you want to throw a Summerween party. Super easy,
Yeah.
I think because you could do a lot of easy summery things. So we're going to try to show you some of that. I know, Jim, you're going to create some lists for your paranormal podcast.
Yes.
The 20 years of...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. We hope you'll join us, youtube.com/Jim Harold. And you should be subscribed to that YouTube channel anyway. We're doing this show over there. If you're like video, I mean, a lot of people, it's kind of like me. Here's the way I feel about it. There's times the audio is great, and sometimes I like to see the video. I mean, audio is always going to be my bread and butter, but sometimes I like to watch the video. And I think that's kind of the fun thing that we're doing now. We've not changed the shows. But you can watch them or you can listen. A lot of people are watching on their TV sets now. That's becoming a huge thing. So
I do that a lot.
You get to see my face really big. That's kind of not good. But
no,
but
my
anyway,
face really big, especially today. Do you ever have one of those days? I'm having one of those days.
I have one of those days.
Nothing's good.
Nothing is good.
Well, no, I mean, everything's good. I'm very grateful.
Yes.
No. There's a difference between being grateful and just saying, you know what? I look like you know what today. I can't find things. Just, one of those days where all those little tiny things just really annoy you. That's today.
Yeah. Last week we had a failure of a major piece of equipment, and I had to hurriedly get audio interface.
God, that was a nightmare.
The power button keeps failing on this one unit we have, and I keep sending it back.
The unit. I mean, it's like without that, you do not get to run.
No audio.
Right.
So I got something different, and so far so good, and we'll see how it works out. So, but this is all relatively small because it may not matter because Harvard physicist Avi Loeb says maybe. Something that many people consider an interstellar comet is actually an alien probe. And this is from Newsweek. It's been reported in various places. And it says an unexpected visitor to our solar system spotted earlier this month might be a piece of alien technology, according to Avi Loeb from Harvard University. And Dr. Loeb has been a guest multiple times on the Paranormal Podcast. Very brilliant man. So we're not talking about Fred's House of Astronomy here or anything. It's the 3-Eye Atlas. It is the only the third known interstellar object ever recorded, and it was detected on July 1st by NASA's Atlas telescope in Chile. So there you have it. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not in this story because we'll have a couple different stories linked in the show notes, one from Newsweek, one from unexplained-mysteries.com. But there was another story I read, and I can't remember where it was from, that even the angle that it is entering seems to almost be intentional to make detection delayed. Like if you were going to try to fly something into our solar system and want to go for as undetected as long as possible, this is like at that perfect angle. He said,
interesting.
Dr. Loeb says the object could have been sent by an alien civilization. He says the trajectory, and size, and behavior suggest it could be something far more advanced than a natural occurrence. Here's what he said. Here's a direct quote. The retrograde orbital plane of 3-Eye Atlas around the sun lies within 5 degrees of that of Earth. The likelihood for that coincidence out of all random orientations is 0.2%.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, other people say
compelling data.
yeah. And there was another object a couple of years ago, a Muamua, I believe it was called. And Dr. Loeb also speculated, for various reasons, that may have been from an alien kind of probe sent. But there are people who disagree. Richard Moisel, head of planetary defense at the European Space Agency, told Newsweek there have been no signs pointing to non-natural origins of 3-Eye Atlas in the available observations. So there you have it. They're going back and forth. But I respect Dr. Loeb. I respect, he has done a lot in trying to figure out what's going on, I think, in a scientific and a respectable way. And hats off to him. And I'm not saying it's definitely, from some other star system in terms of something intentional rather than something natural. But it does make you think.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, everyone, has a different interpretation of things, especially even in medicine. I mean, you could go to one physician and they'll tell you, oh, you have this, definitely. And then you go to another physician, it's like, well, I don't see that on, in the radiological studies or whatever. So, I mean, so Dr. Loeb may see it and this other scientist may not. You don't know if somebody told the other scientist, you never know what's at play, right? So just keep an open mind.
Everybody has their biases, and that goes for an agenda, and that goes for, and this is not a disparagement, that goes for Dr. Loeb, that goes for,
that's right.
We know from, we both have master's degrees, so we didn't go the full PhD route, but I think from our exposure to academia, I think we would agree that academics have their biases, and sometimes they try to play it like, well, we're honest brokers. We don't have any biases. We're playing it straight down the middle. Nobody plays it straight down the middle.
No.
Even if they want to, they are shaped by their own experiences, their own research, and everything. Anything human is biased. Even the act of choosing what to examine and what to measure inherently is a bias.
Well, yes. I mean, when you're doing an experiment, you start with a theory. So a theory is what? Some kind of thought that you have about something, right? If we're just breaking it down very easily, right? A hypothesis. So you start with that. That in and of itself, my hypothesis could be, children who, don't have exposure to books by the age of 3 can't read when they're in first grade,
or have lower test scores, or
right. I mean, it could be that, but somebody else can come back and say, well, books, you don't need books by the time you're 2 or 3 years old to be able to read in first grade. That's not the So I mean, you could always have whatever theory, and then you can make your research go towards the way you want it. You can take that data, and even though it's data, you can make it look a certain way. And we've talked about this many times.
One of my favorite sayings is there's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics.
Absolutely. So there you have it. Yeah.
So on to a very serious story, the unfortunate and untimely passing of paranormal investigator Dan Rivera, and you have a bit of an update for us.
Well, it's just a little update that some more information that came out this week about, what happened or what didn't happen, basically, because there was so many people on there speculating and just coming out and say, "Oh my God, Annabelle killed him," and not being very conscious about, his family, his friends. He's got young children. I mean, come on, a man just passed away. Let's show some respect. But people were speculating, whatever. So they did put an update out. This is from people.com. And they said when they confirmed that the doll was not present in his hotel room. Okay. Because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, the doll was with him." The doll was not with him. Nothing suspicious in the hotel room. Nothing out of the ordinary. They did release some information saying that he was with other people prior to his passing, and he decided to go up to his hotel room because he told them he wasn't feeling well. Nobody knows what he was feeling or what was going on. They are obviously going to do an autopsy. If they haven't done it already, the results will come out, I think they said, in 8 to 10 weeks. So, we'll see what happened. I mean, it was a very young man. So it's very sad, but so maybe some of this conjecture and, speculation can stop. The doll wasn't with him. They even put I don't know if it was in this article or another one that I had read, that somebody gave him a warning weeks ago: "Stay away from the doll. Don't bring the doll anywhere. They told you not to bring the doll anywhere." I mean, I don't know. Can one thing exist with it? I mean, sometimes,
Well,
I don't know.
Well, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Thank you.
But the point is that I think you can believe that there are certain objects that could be haunted.
Yes.
But not necessarily.
And evil.
Yeah, and not necessarily take the leap of logic that it killed somebody. I mean, both things, one of my favorite sayings is two things can be true at the same time. So it's not necessarily saying that an object couldn't be haunted, but it's a big leap to say it's so haunted and so powerful that it could literally kill someone.
Right.
So,
right.
I think what's important here is sensitivity to his family, sensitivity to the situation, and the only reason we continue to talk about this is we want to bring out the point that this appears to be nothing more than the very tragic and unfortunate death of a middle-aged man who had
and get out that false,
right.
Those false claims that he was with the doll. He was not. The doll was not in his hotel room.
Right.
End it there.
Right.
Show some compassion a little bit, people. And we're not saying you guys. I'm just saying, whatever's on social media and from what I hear, because I don't read that stuff. But yeah, but yeah. So there you go.
Well, another tragic story.
Yes,
is coming out, and this one is from the Daily Mail. Area 51 staff killed by invisible enemy while working on top secret projects. Now, of course, we know a lot of secret work is done at Area 51. We know secret weapons programs, those kind of things. Some people speculate that they may house alien technology. The government may house alien technology and reverse engineering efforts there and so forth. But we know for sure that they work on classified programs, things like the SR-71, the old spy plane, and different things over the years. Well, apparently, people who have worked on these projects are coming down with major, major health issues that are seriously injuring them, killing them.
Oh my
and
gosh.
The government isn't helping them out. Former security guards at the Nevada test and training range, a classified site that houses Area 51, have claimed that the U.S. government betrayed them and essentially handed them a death sentence without their knowledge.
Oh, man.
Apparently, this NTTR was built in the 70s on an area of land that was found to be contaminated with radiation from years of nuclear testing in the area.
Oh, boy.
And David Crete, he's a former Air Force sergeant who worked there from 83 through 87, said that over 490 of his fellow workers have died of severe illnesses since being stationed at
Oh,
that
my
site.
gosh.
And
Oh, that's so many people.
get this is so sad. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs has refused to cover their medical care because none of the surviving veterans can prove they were exposed to radiation near Area 51, even though the government knew that there was radiation lingering there, but they felt that the site was too important to shut down. And they said
how are they
because
supposed to prove it?
all the work was top secret, so all the records of their activities have been masked or marked as data masked. Apparently, Mr. Crete spoke to the House Veterans Affairs Committee in April while lobbying for legislation to support the Area 51 veterans. And in fact, this was amazing to me that in 2000, President Bill Clinton signed a bill that provided compensation and medical benefits to workers who developed illnesses due to exposure to radiation and other toxins while employed at certain government facilities. But the same rules don't apply to these folks because apparently they were part of classified projects. What a stupid loophole that is. I mean, I must say, we don't get political. We always say this, but I think in this is kind of like a black mark on both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat. I don't think our country takes nearly as good of care of our veterans as we should, particularly people injured in war. I think a lot more could be done. But this is very sad. Now, some people may say, well, were they exposed to alien technology that maybe is causing this cancer? And I mean, who knows? But definitely, if there were nuclear remnants made from testing that are there, we know that causes cancer. So whether or not this has some kind of alien technology X factor to it, who knows? But the important thing here, I think, is that these people should get the help that they need. And it's interesting, there was a lot of that in the 50s with nuclear testing and things. There was a movie, The Conqueror, with John Wayne, and it was shot in a desert. It was a horrible movie, apparently. It was about, I think, Genghis Khan. I think John Wayne played Genghis Khan, which made, howdy, Pilgrim, I'm going to take over the world. It makes no sense whatsoever. But anyway, aside from being a terrible movie, a huge percentage of people who worked on that in the desert where there had been atomic fallout from the testing died of cancer, including John Wayne himself.
See?
Dick Powell, who I think directed it and is also a famous actor from that era. I think Susan Hayward, supporting actor, I can't remember his last name, who was in Dr. No, was his last movie. He died of cancer, plus cast and crew. It was a higher percentage than normal. So we know that people, back then they thought, oh, look at the pretty bomb going off. The average person just thought it was cool. In Las Vegas, they used to sit and watch the testing. It was like advertised. And could you imagine the fallout those people got from being maybe downwind from that? So the point is our government has a history of doing this and then not living up to the consequences. So
anything to save a buck.
Yeah, a downer indeed,
what they do.
But it's something important to talk
It's just
about.
absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting how we treat veterans, period. I mean, they are risking their lives for our freedom. Okay, whether you believe in war, you don't believe in war, whatever, it doesn't matter. They are putting their lives on the line. And people will say, well, I don't have to. Well, then who's going to protect you? Anyway.
That's right.
And this is how we treat them when they're finished. We just kind of discard them like, an old tissue. Goodbye. Throw it out. But we do that with our elderly, period. So let's not even, we can have a whole other story.
Well, let's get on to something a little
Well, there's
more,
speaking of a story,
this is the biggest story on the internet in the last week. Tell us about
and what was that? It was that Coldplay kiss cam, and the couple who were caught on there, and they shouldn't have been a couple. He was what was his name? Andy Byron, and he was the CEO, right?
Right.
Wasn't that right? He was the
Yep.
CEO of that astronomer, which I'd never heard of that company. Had you, Jim? I didn't
No,
know what that was.
I'd never heard of it. No.
Yeah. And the HR director, right? Kristen Cabot,
Yeah.
they
They
were
saw him and the most incriminating thing about this, and I think everybody agrees.
yes.
Okay, they were on the camera, which was bad enough, but then the minute they saw themselves, they're like, oh, you know. And the thing was, the CEO, who's since been deposed, is that the right word? Not deposed, but he's been disposed of. I mean, I think he resigned.
He put his resignation.
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs time to consider, and for his family. But the point is that he had the nerve, he kind of put in this sorry, not sorry statement. He had the nerve to blame Coldplay. Look, if you're at any sporting event, you're at any concert, it's well known that they have cameras. They have cameras, and part of the fun is showing people in the crowd having a good time, doing a kiss cam. That's part of the deal. Don't go in public if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Better yet, who am I to judge, but don't do it. But if you're going to do it, don't be stupid enough to go a concert and
then really overreact
never.
When you were caught.
Was that like
you brought
Ferris?
more attention?
Wasn't Ferris Bueller put on TV somehow in the movie?
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. It's kind of like.
But he didn't duck and hide. He was like, wasn't he just like hamming it up?
It's been a few years.
She like running in the wings and covering her face.
You have some very insightful data why this actually happened. Very insightful.
See, there is, because now an astrologer is saying there was a reason for this, and it was because Mercury was in retrograde.
There you go.
Ta-da!
Explains it all.
No.
Explains it all.
So Mercury retrograde is deemed as an optical illusion where the planet appears to move in the opposite direction than it usually does. But astrologers believe that this quarterly phenomena actually toys with our lives a little bit, and they feel that that's what was at play here. They're saying, people.com, they're saying astrologer Antonella, and I guess she's on psychic chat. I don't know. She said what Mercury in retrograde does, it pulls hidden truths to the surface.
Aha.
So here's a quote from her. She said, when it moves through a bold sign like Leo, which rules the heart and is closely linked to romance, it can stir up drama in relationships. Misunderstandings become more likely, secrets can slip out, and emotions tend to run high.
Oh, boy. Well, now that explains it all.
Yeah, doesn't it? So that's the only reason why it happened. Not that they were actually cheating.
I just want to say something. I can believe in the idea, and I kind of do. I think maybe there really is something to astrology, but you could take a claim like this and say, I don't know about that. Maybe these are just not good people who did a not good thing and were dumb enough to do it in public, and they got caught.
Good. Now I want her to resign too, because I don't know why he only
Absolutely.
She's in charge of HR. There's no way you should be
come
still
on.
at that company.
She could report herself to herself.
Yeah, really.
I have to have a stern talking to you. Yes, I
don't know. I don't get it. First of all, I don't get it. Period. I don't understand cheating. I don't get it. You don't like somebody, you're sick of them, you don't want to be with them, divorce them, and then go do whatever you want with other people freely. But I don't know. Just whatever. And you're out in public, you think nobody's going to see you? What if it wasn't even the Jumbotron? What if you ran into somebody else you knew or something?
Everybody has a video camera these days.
They're everywhere.
Our phones. Everybody.
Your phone.
I mean, what percentage, I'd be interested in, what percentage of the U.S. population today has a smartphone? It's got to be 80% at least.
There's 3-year-olds that have iPhones. It's sick.
There is no privacy. If you're in public, and anything you do can be held against you. So just keep that in mind. Don't do stupid stuff in public. Don't do stupid stuff in general. Although I think we've all done some kind of stupid stuff. Nothing to that
Well,
degree,
everybody's young and they do stupid things. I did stupid things, whatever.
like the
Lots
flying
of stupid
hamburger,
things.
which we're going to tell on the next behind the scenes.
We're going to tell behind the scenes
The
coming up in
flying
the next
hamburger
week. Yeah.
is a close call.
Yeah. Just to tag onto this, they're saying whatever you plan to do between now and August 11th, while Mercury's still in retrograde, consider the 7 RE rules of astrology. So, anything that begins with RE: remember, re-edit, rebuild, rediscover, return, revisit, and reconnect all work well under Mercury retrograde. It gives us a chance to review the past, review wonderful moments, remember personal victories, blah, 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 blah.
Or regurgitate. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just a joke.
No,
Just a little joke. Just a little joke. Something that I wanted to talk about, I want to give a hats off to somebody here. John Greenwald runs the Black Vault site, theblackvault.com. And basically what John does is...
we'll do your story and then we'll do the haunted site, but go on.
Okay. Well,
go ahead.
We'll do this. I'm sorry.
Ahead.
Anyway,
Finish
see,
it.
this we
Every
do this
week,
live to
every
drive.
week.
You need to put a placeholder. We need a
I
placeholder.
did. Oh. There is a placeholder. Oh. See?
Well, I sit corrected.
It's bolded and it's in big letters.
Hey, dummy. The haunted site is next. But anyway. Well, let's give John Greenwald his flowers.
Yes.
Theblackvault.com. And basically what John has done, gosh, it's got to be, I think, 20 years. It's a long time. He basically, bombards, in a good way, the government with FOIA requests, Freedom of Information requests, because his idea is to get the facts out there. And the Freedom of Information Act is perfectly legal. It's something where you can bring daylight to different things that maybe the government doesn't want us to necessarily know. And the thing is that, the Navy, back in, I believe it was 2020, posted videos on the Naval Air Systems Command website, April 2020, an action many believe to be a voluntary act of government transparency. And these were videos known as the FLIR 1, Gimbal, and Go Fast. But now, and this is from John's site, theblackvault.com, records now confirm the long-suspected reason that it was a direct result of FOIA pressure initiated by a request filed by the Black Vault in May of 2019. Not only that, they also withheld a ton of content, which, as I understand, is still withheld in terms of some documentation. The cover letter accompanying the release outlines the extent of withheld material. I don't know who wrote this, but I have also withheld 59 emails and 3 legal memos totaling 498 pages in their entirety under the following FOIA exemptions. And basically, they have certain things where they can exclude things in FOIA requests and releasing things. But it sounds like everybody said, wow, the Navy is really, stepping up here and they're putting it out there. And essentially, it's because John was pressuring them with FOIA requests and he basically backed them into a corner to release these videos. And the withholding of those 498 pages have been appealed by the Black Vault. And the thing I like about John, because if you follow him on social media, he's not a true believer. He'll say, I think this is half-baked and, this video doesn't make any sense to me, or, he'll call him as he sees him, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So he's not always like, yay, UFO camp. He's like, hey, I'm going to be straightforward. But basically, in this article, he talks about, why are they so concerned? Why are they so concerned to withhold this material? What are they hiding? So I recommend.
Why would somebody be so concerned? Why? See,
because they have something to hide.
Thank you. That's with anything. I'm sorry. If you're not forthcoming and transparent, what are you hiding?
Yes.
You're hiding something most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. You're hiding something.
They're
if you don't want to
be. I have no doubt that the government is hiding something. I saw a quote somewhere. I don't know if it was on UFO Twitter, UFOX, or somewhere. But the question came, what if the reason that this is not being disclosed. And Nick Pope has talked about this, the truth too terrible to tell. What if we're all just lab rats of some sort? I mean,
Great.
I don't know that I believe that, but that, it is kind of scary. And
I don't know.
That ties into this week's paranormal podcast a little bit. We talked about
that's what I was going to say. I was just going to say,
what is the world a simulation with Rizwan Virk, who is brilliant, and he was on Rogan and got 1.1 million views. We haven't scratched the surface of that. So check out that interview with Rizwan Virk. It's on YouTube. It's also on the Paranormal Podcast feed, but probably my favorite interview of the year. But the point is that maybe whatever it is behind the ET thing is not just people visiting it, but maybe it has more to do with kind of our origin and how we came about and kind of scary stuff like that.
I told you the other night at dinner, I said, since I started becoming a part of all of this and doing this show, I am more scared than ever. I think I just hadn't thought about any of the stuff, and I was living happily and in bliss, not thinking about like all the robots that are going to take over and I'm not real. And I don't know. It's just like scary stuff now. My mind is blown. I don't know. So I'm
yeah, because you were always around, but you were kind of on the periphery. But now you're more into it, and
well, now I'm doing more. I'm reading more, and I'm more exposed to it, and I have to say I don't like a lot of it. But I'm scared.
Yikes, I'm sorry.
I mean. Well, no, like AI is taking over. Is it really? Is it just part of the simulation? They're just moving on to like the next chapter of the game or so. I mean, like it's challenging religious beliefs. It's like challenging everything. What is on the other side? Is there anything on the other side?
It's been affirming. I've said this before, but it's been affirming to me because, kind of I always thought about, well, either, kind of the things I believe are true or else there's nothing in this, you're here when you're here, you're dead when you're dead, and all of that. I didn't really believe that before, but I did entertain the thought. And now I don't even entertain that thought because it's apparent to me that there's so much more going on than we understand. Now, what that is sometimes can be a little disturbing, but to me, I find it reassuring in a weird way. And the kind of stories we get on Campfire, I find reassuring. So, I guess everybody looks at it
Well, I used to feel reassured. Like what some of my favorite stories are getting signs from the other side, right? Getting signs from your loved ones. Well, if we're in the simulation or something, are we getting signs from our loved ones?
But to me, the whole thing about the simulation,
creator like throwing that in there just to kind of.
The thing.
Go ahead.
My thing, and I talked to Rizwan about this.
Yeah.
Is that when you talk about a creator in a simulation,
right?
We're saying the same thing. We're using language. Let me explain. Okay, so if you have a world and you have a programmer who makes this world and writes the code and so forth, could another word for the programmer be God? Because I've often said, and it's not an original thought by any thought, you walk out here and look at the trees and look at the ecology and look at the plant life and look at the atmosphere and all the things it takes for us to exist. They almost have to be perfect for them to align and to work. Almost like it's planned, like a programmer or a God would plan it. So to me, the simulation theory is not disturbing because I think it's a different way of explaining the same thing. For example, Rizwan talked in the interview, and I hope people check out the Paranormal Podcast, audio and video, there was this really famous yogi. I can't remember the yogi master who came over and got yoga popular in the U.S. And this was back in the 20s. And he would talk about life is like a film, and what we see is the projection. It's not, we're seeing the projection. And Rizwan make the point is that at that time he used the terminology, the technology of the time to explain the concept. Rizwan, what he's doing is using the technology of our time to explain it. But perhaps it just gets back to the same thing. It's just a different way of saying it. That's my point, which I actually find reassuring.
There you go.
And you do not. But at least
because
you,
like I was saying, I'm okay. So I'm in agreement with all of that. That's cool and kosher. So, but my concern now is what if we actually, when we die, we just end and the programmer or the creator or whoever is just like toying with us in a way when we get a message from the other side that those people aren't really there. Those people really aren't there. They're gone. They're dead. But, just to give us some kind of reassurance and calm us down or give us some comfort while we're here or something. You know what I'm saying? I never, ever thought that before, ever, until all this stuff is coming to light and it's bothering me. So I hope you guys don't feel that way.
I'm sorry,
like Jim, and get more reassured. But
now I feel like I've ruined your life. I apologize. More so than I usually do.
Ruined my life. Oh, Lord.
Well, since we're talking about it, is time. It's overtime for the haunted place of the week, and it is
the haunted place of the week.
There it is.
It's the Queen Mary.
Yes.
Yes. The Queen Mary. We want to go here so badly. We thought of holding an event here.
Yeah. If anybody has a connection, let us know.
Yeah, because that would be quite the trip for us. We'd have to kind of save up for that because that's San Diego. So that would not be cheap for us. But we would really love to have an event there. And there's, you can go to the website, queenmary.com, and they have like different tours you could take. Many of you guys, I know I've read on the virtual campfire that have gone. Somebody was going, I think, recently. So it's pretty cool. But it's pretty haunted supposedly, and they're like, well, why is it so haunted? And they're saying it has a history of deaths when it was like a luxury liner, tons of paranormal activity, so accounts of like disembodied voices and strange noises and apparitions, and certain areas are like extremely haunted. I guess stateroom B340.
Yeah.
So bed covers being pulled off, bathroom lights turning on, feeling like you're being watched. The first class swimming pool said it's haunted by a young girl who drowned there. The engine room's another area where people have reported a lot of paranormal activity. And the first class lounge says there's a spirit of a woman who enjoys dancing there is haunting that site.
Yeah, and grumpy. This growling spirit apparently, yeah.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Yeah. That's.
I don't know. I say I want to go there, but then I don't know if I want to go there. Well, maybe I won't stay in there. Just kind of.
I had no idea that there were actually over 49 documented deaths. Apparently,
yes,
maybe more.
Yeah.
So, and we've had people come on Campfire who have gone there and have specifically had issues and had things happen to them. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
So that's pretty interesting in my opinion. Yeah. So we would love to go there.
That's one of the really cool places. So if anybody has a connection to the Queen Mary, we'd love to do something.
Somebody that can help us play in something there. We would love to do that. That would be really, really cool.
Absolutely. So now we talk about psychics and those kind of things. I think we both believe that psychics are real. And that people do have psychic powers, and there can be ethical, good psychics.
Yes.
But then
I've gone to a few that have been absolutely tremendous. I went to one when I was a teenager. So, because I've always been interested in this kind of thing. Not everything she told me panned out. A lot of it was interesting now that I look back. Some of it was like, oh, okay. It did come true. I know she told some of my family members some things that kind of later, blew our minds. But there's, unfortunately, there are some fortune tellers and psychics out there who are not so good and not on the up and up. And I guess this past week, there was an astrologer in New York, and very funny, Hicksville, New York, which we just saw the Billy Joel
documentary, and he was from Hicksville,
Yeah, so that's where this happened. So this astrologer in New York's been charged with grand larceny after allegedly scamming an elderly woman out of thousands of dollars for his fortune-telling services. So, man, the woman was driven to the local bank to withdraw money while she was receiving these services, and bank employees called police to investigate a potential scam. So thank God somebody at the bank knew what was going on. Uh, so this 33-year-old Hemant Kumar Munepa was arrested on Thursday, July 17th. He asked the 68-year-old woman to withdraw
Ah,
$42,000 from her bank account. This is, come on, these people are so sick. Come
I
on.
hope that people like, now this is allegedly, right? At this point, this is all alleged, right?
Allegedly, supposedly,
Right,
allegedly,
right.
yes. After allegedly asking her to do that,
For
yes.
anyone who does this, and it is proven they have done this and similar type
Yes.
things, I hope there's a special place in hell for them.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah. Well, his services included the power to fight evil spirits. Yeah. So, she was receiving the services and then she was allegedly asked to provide the additional 42,000. She was driven to the bank to withdraw the money. They told her she was being scammed and they called the police. And when they arrived at the bank, they arrested Manepa in the parking lot without incident. And he's been charged with grand larceny in the third degree.
And I don't
Um,
understand. I mean, I think people like this, or allegedly in this case, but people who do this and prey on the elderly, they have no conscience. They don't care.
well,
They
with
simply don't
anything,
care.
there have you seen they're like we've talked about this, how they're using AI to pretend that they're like a family member
Yeah,
and they
it's
need I
terrifying.
just read another article. This older woman got scammed thinking her granddaughter was in help needing
Yeah,
help.
there was a story I read where somebody tried to scam this elderly person and had them buy all these gift cards or something. And somebody at a gas station saw this woman trying to work with a machine and gift cards and stuff. And he walked over to her and said, "Ma'am, I think you might be being scammed here." Because she was elderly. She didn't, you know. And she's like, "Oh, no, I'm not being scammed at all." So he called the police. The police came and they still couldn't convince the woman she was being scammed, that the scammers had done such an effective job of tricking her that she argued with the police. It's just, I'm living in a world I don't understand, to quote a former
Well, if
Cleveland
anything,
radio host.
yeah. I mean, if anything, well, first of all, let me finish with this story. Detectives are requesting that if anyone else thinks they might have been a victim, to contact the NCPD Second Squad. I'm going to give you the number. It's 516-573-6200, because there might be other people out there. The other reason I wanted to do this story, for those of us that are more in the know and maybe more tech savvy and whatever, please warn your elderly
Yes.
relatives or your neighbors. Inform them of these stories. Tell them what's going on. Tell them what they should do if something like this happens. So like my first problem solving thing would be like if somebody's calling to pretend they're your granddaughter and they need all this money, hang up the phone, tell them, "You know what? Let me call you right back." Hang up the phone, call your granddaughter. Ask them. Try to get in touch with another family member. See if that's really happening.
Yeah, and I think if somebody calls you like that, you also contact the authorities. Don't
Oh,
believe that.
absolutely. But double check first because
Yeah.
chances are you're being scammed.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you to buy gift cards. Nobody needs you to buy, say, transfer wire money over. Not in today's day and age. Things are different. So those of us that are, we're not that much younger, but those of us that are
We're
younger,
getting to that age.
we're getting there, who are like a little more tech savvy. Help out those who are not, please. That's like a good thing to do. Kind of inform people what's going on. So,
Absolutely. Now,
yeah.
this next story is much more pleasant, and I'm so
Yes.
glad you picked this because I actually heard about this on one of my favorite podcasts, Mac Break Weekly with Leo Laporte,
Ah,
and they were talking about with the new iOS, there's going to be a bunch of new emojis, and Bigfoot is ready for his close-up because there's going to be an
woohoo.
official hairy creature emoji coming this fall.
There we go.
Yeah. Now, they said that fans of the alien, flying saucer, and ghost emojis, this is from unexplained-mysteries.com, will be pleased to hear that another unexplained theme edition called Hairy Creature will be included in September's Unicode update. And people who have looked at like the thing, this is definitely a Bigfoot, but they're calling it a hairy creature, which kind of makes sense because think about it. In Australia, they have the Yowie. In the Himalayas, they have the Yeti. So by
Yeah, that's
calling it
good.
hairy creature, it fits the bill. And
Cool.
And the other thing that I found, and this was on MacBreak Weekly, that they said, for example, when Apple comes out with a new version of their operating system for their phones and iPads, their iPhones and iPads, they always want people to update. And sometimes people are reticent to update. They don't want to go to the new version of the iOS. But here's the thing, the iOS. Here's the thing. By putting these new emojis in, people are more likely to update, because if you don't update, you don't get the new emojis. So it's like a strategy. It's a strategy to get people to upgrade to the latest iOS. So
all the psychology.
But I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I know it's kind of funny, haha. But and then there were some other ones.
Well, why is it funny? People, I know at the end of that article, they were saying, Loch Ness, anyone? They want a Nessie one.
We need a Nessie. I forgot what else was going to be.
There are quite a few emojis I need that they don't have.
A fight cloud, for example, like in the cartoons when they have a fight cloud, there was going to be a fight cloud. And there was a couple other ones I can't think of. But yay, Bigfoot finally gets his recognition.
Some representing.
Exactly.
Well, but think of the other ramifications of that. Isn't that kind of interesting? So are they saying that exists? Or they're more willing to give it some more credence now by giving it an emoji?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a joke. But maybe. I mean,
what's not? Go ahead. Yeah.
I will just say, I've always said this on the shows. I'm kind of on the fence about Bigfoot. On one hand, it's like, why haven't we gotten a body DNA? And I know all the explanations. But on the other hand, that Patterson-Gimlin film, you slow it down, stabilize it, looks like muscle tone. And who am I to say to people who spent their whole lives in the woods, hunting, forestry workers, and don't know what they're talking about when they see something? So I kind of go back and forth. It depends on the day of the week. So I think, it has its funny aspect. And what I heard is that they're making it look more like the Harry and the Hendersons kind of Bigfoot. Oh. But I also think that, again, two things can be true at the same time. We can have some fun with it, but we also can, look at it seriously. But go ahead.
Well, no, I was just, how do we know? We don't know what's under the ocean. No. How would we know what's in all the expansive forestry around the world? I mean, we don't. Yeah, you can't be everywhere at once.
I've talked about this so many times. My favorite's when I got an anonymous voicemail saying, Bigfoot's out here in the woods and is mining uranium. That was the best.
To this day, we don't know how this person got your number.
It was my personal
We asked
number,
everyone we knew if they were joking around with you.
I wish I would have saved that. And that's exactly what it sounded like.
Nobody took credit for that if it was a joke.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. Well done. Maybe he was out there mining uranium. Who knows?
It could be. I don't know.
But more importantly, I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. I'm hungry. You've got a story that ties in.
Halloween, 100 days away. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you guys, Jim, in our house, one of our traditions at Halloween, since the girls were very little, are those Pillsbury cookies that have the little design in them and you just bake them. So there's pumpkin. Yeah, those go like in 5 seconds in this house. But anyway, they have the pumpkins, they have the ghost, with the purple. I think they came out with a black cat, which I just read from this article from Yahoo Men's Journal saying that the black cat is coming back. It was voted. I guess they had a voting, Pillsbury, which design do you want to come back? So black cat's coming back, but they're going to have a new design on a cookie. And I absolutely love this one, actually. It's going to be a sugar skull cookie, and it's kind of based off of like Dia de los Muertos. So it's a sugar skull, and they're saying you could do so many kinds of decorative things with it. You actually could. I like this one. I will probably buy this one. I think it's pretty cool, even though we will not have any children in the house. But anyway,
it's going to be the first Halloween in 26 years that we've not had a child or a reasonable facsimile in because they've not been children for years, but in the house. It'll be a change.
I don't know. You got to get Rambo and Teddy to carve the pumpkins because
Oh God, I forgot about that. Oh geez.
Oh, I'm not doing it.
I'm just gonna because Cassandra was.
We haven't been doing it since Cassandra was.
She's very good at it. She does very nice.
She's so good at it. Oh my gosh, we'll have to post some of the pictures. Her designs, and she's just excellent at carving. I
Mine
can't do
look like
jack
it's done by a
squat.
3-year-old.
No, mine look even worse than that. I can't do it. I
Plus, I'm
tried to do
afraid.
one last year with her because she's like, "Mom, carve the one with me," and I'm like, I'm bad at it. I am. I've always been bad
She
at it.
does the
You
fancy designs and everything.
really fancy designs. Not even using a stencil most of the time. She just kind of freehands it. She looks at the picture. Shocking. And people like the trick-or-treaters will come by and the parents are like, "Wow, we love that jack-o'-lantern."
Yeah,
Unfortunately, they won't have that this year.
yeah.
Um,
They'll be like, "Who in the hell
there's
did
no
that?"
pumpkin out. There'll be pumpkins out. There just won't be carved. Um, yeah, so but I'll go ahead and I'll buy these. They're 20, so you can have all 20 cookies, dear. No.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, something else people should pick up on is this. You are the master of merch and you've done it again. We probably some of you who listen to the campfire have noticed we have brand new artwork, which I'm very excited about. Seems to be very popular. So we have to have new merch going with that. And Dart, tell people about what they see on their screens. If they're watching, if they're not watching, describe what they're seeing or
Yeah,
hearing
so
about you.
we have a t-shirt and we have a hoodie up. We will have other items coming soon with the new logo from your campfire show. So we have the Bella and Canvas t-shirt. We have it in, I believe, 15 colors. So I kind of just
Wow.
I think that's just like an athletic heather black that's showing on the screen right now, but we have all kinds of colors, purple, navy, there's a special light blue, pretty cool stuff. And then we have a hoodie as well. I think that has 10 colors. They kind of limit the colors on the hoodies. But the hoodies go up to size 5XL. The shirts go up to 3XL. So they are adult unisex. So keep that in mind. It's all on our merch store on Etsy. You can read about it. I encourage people to read about the sizing, measure your own, so you kind of know what to get. But we've got that, and other merch related to that logo is coming soon, very soon.
Yeah.
And even
Well,
some stuff from the old logo too is coming.
yeah, we're keeping up the previous logo for Campfire because that's a personal favorite. Love it, but we just sometimes you need to do a little refresh because I think that old artwork on the app stores and stuff that has become so important. And I've talked to people who really know the industry and said, one of the main things to grow a show is great artwork, and we spent a lot of money on that artwork. So I hope that it's worth it. But very talented artist, very talented artist. So we're hopeful that it will, get new people to try the show. Because I always have felt with the campfire, if people sample that show, the right people, they stick with it. We just have to get more people sampling it. So do please share the show. And if you get our merch at jimharold.com/merch, not only does that help us, I mean, we make a profit on it. We do not make the majority of the money. Most of that goes to either things like shipping or production or all of that stuff. What it really, it helps get the word out because people see that and say, "Oh, well, what's Jim Harold's Campfire?" And then, people who will ask about that, a lot of times are interested in this kind of stuff, and then they listen, and there you go. That's how it starts. So
Right.
please get the merch early and often. Hey, it's a perfect time now. We're going into spooky season. Perfect shirt to wear around Halloween time. So
Absolutely.
there you have it. Well,
There you have
is
it.
there anything that I missed, Dar, other than Summerween? We've got to have them join us.
Summerween. We want to see you guys there. This is going to be fun. We're going to play some games, do some fun things, and talk to you all, hopefully.
Yep.
And we'll have a good time. So please join
You
us and tell everybody you know.
YouTube.com/Jim Harold, and we will post on the social media and the virtual campfire group as well. And we hope to see you there. Well, thank you for joining us this week once again. Had a good time. Lots of interesting stories. Dar, thank you. Great
Definitely.
job as
Thank
always.
you.
And we will talk to
Same.
you next time. Stay safe. Stay spooky. Bye-bye.
Bye.